Tenisa.
Welcome back to our channel. So today we're back with
Tenisa Mini Talk. It's been a long time, but we're back. Tenisa Mini Talk is back.
Yes, but this time, because we haven't done it in so long, I feel like people have forgotten about the Tumblr that we used to get questions from people. So we decided, rather than like trying to advertise a Tumblr again, we just thought we'd talk about a topic that, or just certain topics that we want to talk about, because we do chat a lot behind the camera. I mean, we do chat a lot, as you would imagine, so we just thought it'd be fun to film something like that.
And instead of like just Tumblr rely on I think it's better to just have like these weekly Tenisa Mini Talk where we can, where we can just chat to you guys, and through that way हजुरहरुले चाहिँ हामी like अलिकति better जान्न सक्नुहुन्छ, I think, through these videos. So आजको topic चाहिँ के हो भने, as you can already see from the title, it's gonna be about boys and pressure of dating, marriage,
and finding the one,
especially हाम्रो Asian culture ma, Nepali culture ma. So पहिला सानो हुँदा चाहिँ के, teenage time when we were growing up, there was a lot of like just no dating allowed, focus on school, blah blah blah. And now that I'm in early 20s my भइसक्यो, our mom is starting to get a little worried and
angsty. She's like,
she's getting
dramatically
a bit
angsty.
She's kind of like always in passing she's saying like, oh, यिनीहरुको किन केटा छैन होला, or सबै मेरो साथीहरुको छोरीहरु बिहा भइसक्यो, को के गरिसक्यो, and you guys don't even have a boyfriend. Like when we were growing up, they were like, no boys, no dating. Like dating is like taboo in Nepali culture as well. Do you remember? Like dating was a no-no. And
of course I remember.
now it's like,
but the thing is, as soon as you hit like a certain age, it's like, so where's the boy then? And then it's like, what boy? Like you said I wasn't allowed to have these boys, and like even if you were, I feel like they'll be like, where's the boy? But then like their expectations of the boy that you're supposed to bring home is different to whatever you'll find, because obviously like you and your parents expectations of the boy might be similar, but it's not going to be exactly like you just fall in love with whoever, like, but then the mom and dad might not like him.
But हामी चाहिँ एकदम lucky छ किनभने हाम्रो मम्मी बाबा चाहिँ quite liberal हुनुहुन्छ. पहिलेदेखि नै they knew about our boyfriends, but obviously they were like, don't have a boyfriend, like focus on your studies and focus on your life. But we've always been quite open to our parents about everything, so they probably do know about our ex-boyfriends. And even now, if we were to get in a relationship, they would definitely know. And I think
I feel like now I feel like I could not do all that, like going behind mom and dad's.
But Nepali culture ma चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने dating चाहिँ खासमा एकदम taboo हो, किनभने चाहिँ you're meant to be saving yourself, or you're meant to just have this one person in your life. Being someone who dates around a lot and has a lot of men in their lives, or women, both ways, खासमा it's not seen as a good thing. Actually, another thing, men can probably do it, but women can't.
Yeah.
But let's not go off on that tangent.
Wait a second, I just need to sort something out, girls and boys. I feel like it's a bit slanted, isn't it?
That's why हाम्रो Nepali culture was very taboo हुन्छ, because धेरै date चाहिँ गर्नुहुन्न के, like, you know what I mean, you're meant to just marry one person, like just find
and just be with that one person for a lifetime. But in real life it's not realistic. And I feel like if you were to just settle down with one person without having experimented,
that sounds really bad, but I know what you're trying to say. Like you need to kind of date around so that this like, is what I want,
what you want,
I don't want. That's the thing. I did say in our 20s and mom take the main worried in okay. So she's like, all her friends' daughters are at that age too where they are already married or they're getting married. And
or it's like, because you know like how moms are on Facebook and stuff all the time, and then like random people will be getting married, but like she'll see like constantly like people getting married, wedding posts, so she'll be like, oh my god, when is it gonna be your turn? Because you know what, like Nepali parents are like, they just like love to compare their whole life to like other people they see on Facebook. So I feel like because of that as well, it's like even more than usual. And also like they compare our life to their life. So by our age, our mom was already married, already had
both of us.
Yeah,
she already had both of us. So then she compares that to me, probably, who's not even, there's like,
life hasn't really started.
Yeah, life hasn't really started. I'm still studying, and to even think about marriage,
another person.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So,
but the thing is, that's the thing for us as well. Like, I feel like right now, especially where we are at in life, like both of us, I feel like we can't imagine having someone else in our lives, where it just feels too hectic to bring someone else into your situation. Yeah,
because we are very much into like the K-drama. We love like our rom-coms, and whenever we watch it, we're like, oh my god, I really want a man, I really want to be in a relationship, I want to be in love. But then when you actually think about what it takes to be in a relationship, we're like, no, we don't actually have time for that.
Yeah, and it's in a relationship, it's two people. Like, you can't just expect the other person to give up everything they're doing as well just because you want to be with them. And you know that whole the idea of fate as well, because it's like everywhere, isn't it? Like in films and all the dramas we watch. And the idea of fate is really sweet, but sometimes it's like, because of fate, you need to work on yourselves just so that the fate can work, I feel like.
And we really believe the idea that you attract what you are. So if right now, where my life is, I'm still working towards my dreams and my goals, if I was to attract someone right now, I would attract this, I would attract the kind of person that's on my wavelength.
On the same frequency.
Yeah. And so that's not what I want, you know?
And like, when you look at someone and you like think of the qualities you want in that person, you can't expect them to have all that, but then you're not like really fully the best version of yourself, because it's really unfair on someone else, and it's unfair on you as well, because then it makes you feel insecure if you're with someone who's already settled with their job and everything. And it's just like, you know, I feel like everything is like timing. Everything that you see portrayed in like Korean dramas, just romance dramas, it's just so beautiful to think about, but it's so unrealistic. And I think that's so toxic sometimes to, like, I always say to you, like, I want my man to be like this and that, and then you're like, that's so unfair on that person. So like, setting your standards high is like fine, but like unrealistically high is like, that's really harsh. Plus for yourself as well, like, a really nice guy could come along, but because he doesn't have blah blah that you're looking for, you're gonna turn him down because you couldn't overlook the fact that your standards are like ridiculously unrealistic.
As we've aged, I think the longer that we've left it till our last relationship, so we've been single for so long now, I think the gap gets bigger, and then what the next relationship that you will enter, in your head you're like, I waited so long, he needs to be someone special. So then it doesn't seem right, it's just settling for someone after you've been single for so long, right?
And it's also, I feel like I'm kind of getting used to being single. Like, obviously it'd be nice to have like someone to have a crush on, maybe, or like someone to text, but I feel like I'm really comfortable in like the single life, and I feel like because we have been single for so long, it is really easy to just get settled into your single life, because like in your single life you're not really worrying about anyone else, you just like work towards your own goals. You don't have to reply to someone all the time, explain yourself to people. And
right now I feel like we're not unstable. Like, so grateful that right now this year we're pretty like mentally stable, we're trying to be more fit and healthy. But you know, when you're just like not where you want to be yet, imagine dragging someone imagine someone else being in your life, and he's gonna come with his own worries, and that kind of, when you're in a relationship, you kind of take each other's worries, that kind of doubles up on you, and I think that's a lot of pressure. And the last relationship I was in, I don't want to slander him, but it did feel like I was like his mom. So then that kind of is that extra pressure on you, extra weight on you, like, for no reason. So I think going forward you kind of can learn from your past relationships and everything that everything that you kind of learned by being single. So,
but I'm so grateful that you've been through that, because I feel like personally I haven't really been in relationships, so because I don't have personal experiences like that, I can just look at you and be like, oh my god, that's like not right. Because from an outsider person's point of view in a relationship, I feel like it's really easy to pick out flaws in other people's relationships, especially when you're closer to them. But when you're in the situation yourself, it's hard to overlook that.
Because you're clouded by
the love for the person.
Yeah. Like it was a beautiful relationship, but there I learned so many things, and now looking back, I can see that it was really wrong, and I feel bad for that person too, and myself, that it kind of went on for so long. Like I feel so sorry. I'm actually always sorry when I think about how damaging we were to each other.
But it's okay. Like you both got past it and like learned more from it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we were saying, like you need to have those kind of experiences to be able to understand how to have a healthy relationship in the future. Because how are you gonna jump from being not in a relationship to marrying someone?
Yes. On this topic, only thing I can say is that when I think of marriage, I don't ever think about that person. We've always said this.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like
that's also an issue though.
I never picture the face, what he looks like, but I just know these certain qualities that he definitely needs to have. As I've grown up more as well, I feel like I've become more of like a feminist kind of person. But I wouldn't be like I'm a feminist, but my views and morals and values tend to be quite feministy. So I would love for my man to be like that. Someone who just respects and adores women and kind of understands like that we are equal. And I think, sorry if any Nepali boys are watching, I personally don't think Nepali boys are like that. Do you agree? Yes or no? Like all the experience I've had, I'm so sorry, Audrey, and you're like, oh my god, no. Because going Nepali boy pani, they don't have feministy.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
You're just bored of Nepali boys.
Yeah.
Actually, do you think you want to be with a Nepali boy?
I feel like I do. Like I always thought that, because I've never really dated a Nepali boy anyway, so I want to. But like no, to be fair, I don't even talk to any. That's the thing. I don't know where to find them.
Oh, that's another thing. Like, like, but we actually don't, like, we don't ever get any DMs.
Yeah.
We just don't talk to any. And I don't know if our circle, yeah,
our circle is definitely very, it's just us two.
Yeah.
And like, I don't, like, we wouldn't know where to go and meet them, because we're not even the type to go to those events. Like I don't know if I think we mentioned it last year, but like when we first went to June Fest, like that was like a big deal for us, because we never go to just Nepali events like that. So yeah, we wouldn't even know where to even start looking for these men.
Yeah, because from a young age, when we moved to the UK, we were in Essex, and
there was like little to none
Nepali. And at the time, it was when everything was pretty much online, so it was like high five time, like Facebook just started, so all the communication used to happen like online, and people would like go to Gorkha Cup and all the cups
and Chinatown and come
to me. Like now it's so open, like you can go in dating, but then the problem is there's no boys to date.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like back then
I would love to go on a date.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is sad.
This is so sad.
This is like
this is what happens when we haven't done Tenisa Mini Talk in a while.
This is like cry for help video.
Yeah, we're like, I'd love to go on a date.
Our circle was just pretty much no Nepali, and then how did it change? It hasn't really changed still, has it?
It still hasn't changed, to be honest. Like, but the thing is, on Instagram and Facebook, everyone would be friends. Like, we would know of lots of, like, on social media we would know of lots of like different Nepali teenagers, like, and the people our age, but like you wouldn't actually classify them as your friends, would you?
No,
because they're just people you follow on Instagram. And like sometimes it's like you don't even talk to them, you just like their posts, and it's like that's it.
But this is what I wonder, like, do you think other Nepali kids are feeling what we feel? Because
no, but I feel like other Nepali teenagers have Nepali friends.
Yeah,
I see their crew, and I'm jealous.
I'm so jealous.
I'm so jealous.
And do you feel? It just honestly feels like we're like the only ones. Like, I guess like I'm not that active on social media too, so that probably makes a difference. That's another thing I was thinking, and I was gonna mention. Do you think it's like too late now, being our age,
to try and like find Nepali friends?
Yeah, and meet new people.
I don't think so. Like I don't like.
Because I know it's like you can be at any age to meet people. But maybe हाम्रो गल्ती हो के, because मेरो personality type पनि when he's a pretty check गरेको थिएँ. I'm like a proper introverted person. Like I'm like INFJ.
I'm introverted.
Yeah, we're very introverted. So Mini lagi भन्यो नि joke मा के हाम्रो circle is pretty much each other. She wasn't joking. Like and we're very introverted. Mini is definitely better than me. But मलाई चाहिँ साथी नयाँ साथी बनाउन एकदम गाह्रो हुन्छ के. मलाई चाहिँ नयाँ मान्छेहरू भेटेर अलि open up गर्न एकदमै गाह्रो हुन्छ. But once I do, like I can't keep my mouth shut. But sort of it takes a very long time. That's why your circle is very, very small. So, but I would love for that to open up, especially to Nepali people. But
the problem, I don't think the problem is our age. I think the problem is we don't really have the connection. Like we don't even have a friend who could tell us about friends.
That's just the question why we're single and why Nepali moms worry. But I think they okay like and I think girls nowadays, girls nowadays are becoming very independent. They're either studying, they're working, they're like proper independent, and all women are more like very feminist types now.
Yeah, and for themselves now.
Yeah, which is very good. So and then to introduce a man into that lifestyle, into that
just doesn't fit.
Yeah, especially when they're the wrong type of man. Like there is not a lot of men that I've actually met in real life that are feminists. And that would be the biggest thing. I just can't overlook that.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's not to say that your video is doing and you're in like a relationship, especially a toxic one. Like don't use this video as to like not break away from that.
Oh yeah.
In case you're like, oh my god, single life sucks.
No.
Like,
single life is so much better than staying in a toxic relationship.
Yeah. We're just working on our goals and ambitions, and hopefully becoming like the people that we want to be. And maybe if time allows and if destiny allows it.
Yeah, I feel like destiny is a big thing in it, because if you haven't found someone yet, I feel like that's destiny's plan because you're not supposed to meet them yet, so you haven't. So don't fret about it. Like I don't think we fret about it that much. We just talk about relationships a lot because we are just romantics.
Hopeless romantics.
Yeah, because we love love.
As soon as we're like, oh my god, I want to be in a relationship, then we're like, literally in a split second,
so
we're like,
oh,
no,
men
are trash.
So yeah, I hope you guys found this fun to watch. We've been speaking for a long time, but I guess that makes up for all the time that we've been away.
हामी चाहिँ यो चाहिँ एउटा weekly kind of talk गर्न कोशिश गर्छौँ. Next week चाहिँ हजुरले फेरि केही भिडियो देख्नु भएन भने चाहिँ you already know what's happened. त्यही पनि अब चाहिँ कोशिश चाहिँ गर्छौँ हामीले more up to date हुन हजुरसँग. And
अनि हजुरहरू still हामीलाई क्वेसनहरू ask गर्न मन लाग्छ भने हाम्रो Tumblr as always description box मा हुन्छ. So if you have any dilemmas or anything you want to get off your chest,
so Tumblr चाहिँ के राम्रो छ भने चाहिँ anonymously send गर्न मिल्छ के. So हजुरको नाम हाल्नु पर्दैन. Anything हजुरले चाहिँ सोध्नु मन लागेछ
or you want a second opinion on, then we can just be that friend for you.
त्यति हो. Thank you so much for watching.
If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I know you want to subscribe.
And then our Instagram money gotta follow garnu, please, if you want to. And that's it. Next video ma bitsam. Aajko lai yati nai. Bye.